That day, in front of Jinu's house, a big cat showed up with a basket strap clenched in its mouth. Inside the basket was a tiny kitten. The cat walked up, set the basket down, then turned and left.
Well, hello there. What are you doing here all alone?
Jinu opened the door and looked at the kitten in the basket. He bent down, lifted the whole basket, and carried it inside. He raised it, named it Derpy.
That's right, eat it all up. Looks like you like it.
You're a good boy, aren't you?
Meow.
Just a little bit more, you'll be full.
Derpy grew fast, like it was made of pure springtime. It always trailed right behind his heels. Sometimes when I stopped by, I'd see Jinu sitting there without a word, and Derpy pressed close beside him. Then one day, Jinu turned cold. No petting, no calling its name. Derpy ran around with an old toy and placed it at his feet like an invitation. He pointed outside.
Go!
Then he shut the door. Derpy stood on the porch for a while. After that, it left quietly. In the days that followed, it dug through trash cans, ate things it shouldn't have. Hunger hollowed its eyes, bent its posture, lowered its steps. Once, it risked stealing a piece of fish from a restaurant. The owner grabbed it by the scruff.
Drive it out to the dump and get rid of it!
On my way home from a performance, I saw a truck carrying Derpy. It was curled up, trembling. I recognized it instantly. I ran after them. The owner opened the back of the truck and flung Derpy out. Then the truck turned around and drove off. I ran to Derpy, dropped to my knees.
Come home with me, Derpy.
It looked at me, its eyes shaking. At home, I bathed it, dried it off, set out food, and sat there watching it take bite after bite. That night, Derpy slept in my room, but every so often it would startle awake, eyes open, staring into the dark. I called Jinu. When he picked up, I asked,
Why did you abandon Derpy?
Just keep it.
he said, and hung up. I tried to make Derpy happy. It still played, but it wasn't happy. A lot of the time, it sat by the window, looking like it was thinking about Jinu. Then one morning, it slipped away. I ran after it. It went back to the old house. Derpy walked slowly, like it was afraid of making noise. Jinu sitting on the porch. His skin looked pale, and there was a small IV bag hanging there. Derpy bolted toward him. It rubbed its head against his leg. Jinu held it. In that moment, I understood what Jinu had been hiding.
I didn't chase Derpy away because I stopped loving it. I did it because I loved it too much. The doctor said I have end-stage liver cancer. I don't have long left. I didn't want my illness to become a shadow over a living thing that had already once been left behind at someone's doorstep.
I looked at Derpy in his arms and couldn't imagine what would happen to it once Jinu was gone. From that day on, Jinu's condition worsened, sliding toward his last days. Derpy seemed to understand. It stayed beside him 24/7. Then, Jinu died on a rainy day, and Derpy let out a heartbreaking cry, like it was begging him to stay. I looked at Derpy and knew that from then on, I would have to love it twice as much as I did now. One day, I took Derpy to Jinu's grave. The sky suddenly opened into rain. Derpy curled up in front of the headstone and cried in mourning. Then, out of nowhere, an umbrella lifted behind us.
Jinu?
Derpy's eyes widened. He ran to Jinu.
I traded my soul to the devil so I could stay beside you and Derpy. But don't worry. I think I can control it. I'll try to be a good person, a good boyfriend, and a good owner.
I reached out and touched his cheek. Derpy stood between us, tail softly swishing, like it was saying, "The three of us, this time, we go together."
But that wasn't the end of it. What happened next was even crazier. Wow. Yeah, I know, right?
I and Jinu are getting married.
You know, recently, the trainees in my company kept receiving harassment messages, promises of power, threats, manipulation. Everyone stayed silent. No one dared to report it. In this industry, reputation is a rope around your neck. Just one slight pull, and your future shatters like glass. At first, I thought it was just some bored lunatic, until the messages started appearing regularly on my phone, then on Zoe's,
Oh my gosh.
then on Mira's. I know you finished practice at 11:20 p.m. That white dress yesterday looked perfect on you. One morning, right after a chilling message,
I've sent a gift to your doorstep.
we opened the dorm door and saw a small box lying in the middle of the entryway, Zoe whispered.
This person knows where we live.
In that moment, I understood.
This wasn't just harassment. He was watching, and he wanted we to know he was very close.
From that day on, we knew. If we stayed silent, he would go further. And that was how the craziest plan of my life was born. A fake wedding. Jinu was the first person I thought of. Because everyone knows Jinu doesn't date, doesn't have scandals, doesn't compromise. He listened to our story and simply said one sentence.
All right. If it protects the three of you, if it protects Rumi, I'll do it.
The wedding day came. The MC raised the microphone.
The moment everyone has been waiting for. The vows.
Right at that moment, the phone Zoe was holding for me vibrated with a new message. You dare to get married in front of me? No doubt anymore. He was watching live at the exact moment I stepped on the stage.
Rumi, the message was sent through the building's internal network. The VIP network can only be accessed by senior staff.
Mira, at the control area, opened the network system.
There's exactly one unknown device online in the VIP network. In the VIP seating area on the mezzanine.
The VIP guest list today wasn't long, but only one person held full authority over artists' and trainees' schedules. Deputy Director of Artist Management, Jinu tightened his grip on my hand.
It's time.
The MC asked loudly.
Jinu, do you take her as your wife?
Jinu didn't answer yet. Zoe said rapidly through the earpiece.
Look up at the mezzanine.
I lifted my gaze. In the VIP section, he stood up. In the middle of applause, he shouted down, forgetting the hundreds of eyes around him.
This wedding is fake. She is not allowed to marry. She is the company's property.
The entire hall froze. Mira spoke into the earpiece.
Loss of control. We have grounds to seize the phone. The messages are being sent during the event.
Internal security moved toward the VIP area. He pulled out his phone, frantically trying to delete messages, like destroying evidence. Security held his hand.
Your phone is using the event's internal network. We are required to check it.
When checked, dozens of harassment messages appeared. He couldn't deny it. He was escorted out of the VIP section. As he was taken away, he looked at me. Like a man who just lost something he believed belonged to him. I took the microphone, looking directly into hundreds of eyes.
This isn't a wedding. This is how we protect ourselves and those who come after us.
Jinu continued.
The Deputy Director of Artist Management, Tate, who holds the future of hundreds of trainees kept, used his power to harass and threaten. We chose to speak in the middle of a wedding, because if we said it in a meeting room, no one would believe us.
Zoe's eyes were red.
We were scared, but today, we are not alone.
It's time to end the fear.
Camera flashes exploded. One trainee broke down crying.
Finally, someone speak up.
In that moment, I understood sometimes the strongest force in this industry isn't power, but when the weakest stand together.
And you wouldn't believe what happened next, seriously.
No way! I told you it would be good!
It gets better, watch this.
We took a contract to perform on a luxury yacht. But the moment we stepped onto the deck, all three of us could only yawn from our packed schedule. Inside the cabin, the three of us flopped onto the bed and fell asleep right away. When I woke up, there was only the low hum of the engine and the sound of water slamming against the hull. The cabin was pitch black, not a single light on. I jolted upright and turned on my phone flashlight. I checked every room. No staff, no audience, no one, except me, Mira, and Zoe. I ran to the control room.
Oh, where are we?
The navigation screen glowed blue, and right on it, a cold straight line was pointing at one word, Bermuda. Mira and Zoe started mashing buttons on the control panel. I grabbed the lever and tried to change course. The screen only showed, error, error, error. A wave suddenly hit hard and the whole cabin shook. Through the cockpit glass, a spinning wall of fog waited ahead, like an open mouth.
This is a fake contract! This boat is locked! What?
My spine went cold. Something was holding our direction with an automated system.
Forget the software! Manual steering! It's not working!
She grabbed the emergency steering wheel, while Zoe ran to find the survival compass. But the needle spun wildly, then kept pointing straight at Bermuda. Then the waves rose up and slammed into the side of the yacht. Water poured into the cabin. The yacht lurched, the floor tilted, everything flew around. I barely managed to grab a handrail.
Hold on! Be careful!
But the boat shook violently, tipped, and flipped. Freezing water slapped my face and dragged us outside. We broke the surface in darkness and sea foam, clinging to the hull of the overturned yacht.
We have to get onto the ship.
My hands were trembling. Zoe choked and coughed, and Mira strained to pull her closer. In the distance, shark fins were appearing one after another. This time we were done for.
I can't hold on. Oh, no! I can't swim. Help! Help! Don't let go! Zoe, grab my hand! Zoe! Mira, I'm slipping! Honey, help! Hey, hold on!
My vision started to blur. My arms went numb. My breathing broke apart. In the moment I was about to let go, I saw a small light. A small boat was racing toward us at full speed. Then everything went dark. When I woke up, I was lying on the floor of a boat, wrapped in a blanket. Jinu was in front of me. He leaned down and called my name. Beside him, Bobby stood frozen, his face paper white. I wanted to ask, but I only managed to look at them for a second before my eyes closed again from exhaustion. When we finally got home, we were still shaken. Jinu came to visit.
Last night, how did you get there? You showed up at the exact right moment.
It was a fake contract. Saja boys, listen to the Demon King. They handed it to manager Bobby, like it was a normal performance deal. Bobby had no idea the real goal was to erase Huntrix completely, in silence. No scander, no trace. Just an accident at sea.
You knew?
I hesitated. But then I remembered my promise to you.
Thank you, but next time, tell me sooner. I don't want your promise to come at the cost of you carrying it alone. And then things took another turn.
Staffing Julian!
Really? Yeah, really.
Lately, Mira's name has been getting yanked onto the hot search nonstop. One blurry clip. A girl who looks exactly like Mira, coldly tossing fan gifts into a trash can. Overnight, the internet detonated. Fake. Boycott. Huntrix fooled the fans. Mira stared at the screen like someone had just slapped her across the face. Zoe and I replayed it again and again. And the more we watched, the more impossible it felt, because it really did look like her.
It's not me. I've never done that.
The problem is, people believe it.
Then we find who staged it.
A day later, the three of us slipped out for a walk to escape the online storm. But the second we hit the street, I had a feeling someone was following me.
Someone's following us. Let's trap them.
We deliberately sped up and ducked into a narrow alley. At the last turn, I stopped without warning. Zoe slid to block the front. Mira pivoted to seal off the escape. The person behind us started to turn away, but Zoe grabbed her wrist.
Don't move!
She turned around. All three of us froze. That face was Mira.
Who the hell are you? How do you look like me? Why do you look exactly like Mira? And what's your purpose in following us? I was following you. I was getting ready to replace her.
Replace what?
Replace Mira. I'm a product of the Demon King. He created me to slip into Huntrix and split you apart from the inside. When Huntrix falls into conflict, fans will flood over to Saja Boys. And then it becomes easy to steal human souls. So the clip of throwing away fan gifts.
That was you?
Yes, we have to bring the truth into the light. We do a press conference, and we bring her with us. Let the fans see it with their own eyes.
The next day, the press room was packed with cameras. The entire media held its breath as Huntrix walked out. Mira sat in the middle, face set.
Today we will tell you the truth.
And then, the side door opened, but what came out was only a white rabbit.
You've got to be kidding me!
Huntrix thinks we're a joke? This is way too far!
Zoe stepped forward.
Calm down. I knew this would happen. It's not Mira, and it's not a rabbit. It's a soul-hunting demon. What it's best at is shape-shifting. Throwing us off. Making us look like liars.
So that hot search clip?
Fine. Then watch.
On the huge screen, Zoe played the video she'd recorded when the three of us caught the fake Mira. In the same instant, Zoe launched her weapon straight at the rabbit. The demon's true form burst into view in front of everyone. The room erupted. Chairs scraped. People stumbled back, screams scattering through the air. Camera flashes went wild. I took a breath.
Huntrix isn't asking you to believe blindly. We're only asking you to verify before you judge.
As we stepped off the stage, Zoe leaned close to my ear.
Now that it's shown its face, it can't live in the shadows anymore.
And I knew it. The real game had just begun. Then, a new problem showed up.
Hello, I'm Rumi, a member of the group Huntrix. Today, I want to tell you a story that kept me awake for months about a faceless man and how I took back control of my own image. The concert in Osaka ended late. I returned to the dressing room and had just sat down when I heard a faint click. At first, I thought it was the sound of a light switch, but when I looked up at the mirror, I saw a tiny red dot blinking. A miniature camera. I couldn't believe my eyes. The reflection in the mirror, my own face, suddenly looked terrified and lost. My hands trembled so badly that I nearly dropped my phone while calling my manager. He immediately contacted the backstage crew, and within minutes, the security team arrived. When the staff removed the mirror, a small hidden camera no bigger than 2 fingers fell to the floor. The memory card was still inside. And worse, the police later found 2 more cameras, one in the makeup room and one in the restroom. The organizers immediately locked down the entire backstage area and canceled the next morning's show. I thought it was over. But around midnight, my phone lit up a text from an unknown number.
Hello, Rumi. If you don't want your footage spreading online, stay silent.
I froze. No one except the crew knew my phone number. That meant he was close, maybe one of the staff members. The police worked with the cybersecurity division to trace the message. The number turned out to be an unregistered prepaid SIM, but through network activity and IP data, they were able to track down the device that sent it. The results shocked everyone. That phone had connected multiple times to the internal network of the concert team. It belonged to a technician who had joined the crew only a week earlier. By the time investigators reached his residence, he was gone. His room was a mess, and his company laptop had been wiped clean. Every clue suggested he had planned his escape in advance. From the data recovered in the memory card, the police uncovered his true identity. He was part of a black market ring that traded in private videos of celebrities. He had secretly filmed many singers and actresses, then sold the clips for massive sums of money. The discovery made my blood run cold. If I hadn't noticed that blinking red light, my face, my body might have ended up in the hard drives of hundreds of strangers. I decided not to stay silent. I posted a single line on social media. If you think artists are something to be sold, you're wrong. The sentence spread like wildfire. Other companies began inspecting their dressing rooms, and venues everywhere started tightening security. 2 months later, the police caught him in Tokyo. On his computer, they found more than 300 hidden videos of female artists, including me. He didn't try to defend himself. He just stared at me in silence for a long time. I never watched any of those videos. All I remember is the freezing moment when I stood before that mirror, realizing someone had turned my private space into their spectacle. Since then, I always check every corner before changing. Not because I'm afraid, but because I know. If I hadn't spoken up, there would still be countless others being filmed in silence. Some people say I'm too cautious. But I know one truth. Once your privacy has been violated, you will never feel safe the same way again.
And then, unexpectedly, we ran into trouble right after that.
Stop right there! Don't take another step!
The words burst out of my mouth so sharply that Mira and Zoe both jerked and spun around. At that exact moment, I saw a boy around 6 years old standing right at the edge of the Waterpark pool, where the tiles were slick with water spilling over them, shiny like they had been oiled. Wind from the wave machine blew hard, water slapping against his legs again and again. He looked around in panic, eyes red from crying. We only had 30 seconds left before the intro music would play. Fans had already packed the wave pool area, sunlight reflecting on the water like real stage effects. Everything was ready for the biggest summer performance of Huntrix. But no one below noticed anything. Everyone was counting down, shouting our names, waiting for us to step out. I tossed my mic back to Mira and bolted out of formation, running straight toward the pool edge. Zoe shouted behind me.
Rumi! The music is about to start! You're the opening formation!
I didn't answer. I just ran faster. The boy stepped back because the crowd behind him pushed slightly, and behind him was only deep water. I slid on the wet tiles and managed to grab his wrist at the exact moment he slipped. The boy burst into loud sobs.
Where's my mom? I'm scared.
I hugged him close, calming him even though my heart was pounding like it wanted to tear my chest open. It's okay. I've got you. No one's letting you fall. Mira and Zoe ran over, blocking the sides to stop fans from crowding in. Security rushed in too, their faces pale.
That area is really deep. If he fell in, it would be extremely dangerous.
I asked gently,
Do you remember what your mom was wearing?
The boy nodded while crying.
Mom, yellow shirt, long hair.
I took a deep breath, stood up, raised my arm high, and shouted louder than the fans.
The mother in the yellow shirt of this little boy! Where are you?
The noise started to die down. People in the area looked around. Then from the right side, a woman in a yellow shirt collapsed to her knees, covering her mouth and crying.
My baby!
She rushed forward, pushing through the crowd as if there was only one goal in her entire life. When she finally held her son, the two of them broke down, crying so hard that no one could look at them without feeling their heart tighten.
Thank you, oh my god!
She couldn't form proper words, only clung to her child. I let out a long breath, my whole body soaked with pool water and sweat. Zoe placed a hand on my shoulder, laughing breathlessly.
Rumi, if you were half a second slower, we would have been live streaming a disaster.
Mira gasped.
I saw you jump off the stage and thought you slipped, not that you were saving someone.
I laughed even though my legs were still shaking.
Not slipping is already lucky.
But the chaos of the show wasn't over. From the walkie-talkie, the director yelled like he was about to smash his head against a wall.
Huntrix! The intro music is over. Get on stage now. Skip straight to part 2. Don't just stand there.
The three of us looked at each other, hair wet, outfits soaked, mascara slightly smudged from the pool water, panting from running. I took a deep breath.
Let's go! We already turned this crazy water park into a battlefield anyway, so let's perform like we meant it!
Zoe burst out laughing. Mira shook her head and pulled me along. The three of us sprinted back to the stage, sliding across the wet floor like figure skaters. The crowd exploded when they saw us return. Fans screamed louder than ever. I grabbed the mic, spun once, and joined the beat right where the music was still rolling. The stage erupted. Water sprayed up like fireworks. The entire wave pool jumped to the rhythm. And in that moment, I understood.
It wasn't a perfect jump or a flawless intro that made a moment special. But the second you decide to save a life without hesitation...
Thank you so much for being here. Love you so much.